And all of you, I don't know whether someone has informed you this or not, but if you are login for any class, then suppose the class is from 11 to 12. Okay, so you have to log in between 11 to 11:10 only. Otherwise, your attendance will not be captured on this app portal. Okay, so don't log in before 11 and don't log in after 11:10. Otherwise, your attendance will not be captured on this app portal. This is for all the subjects. Okay, so you have to log in from 11 till 11:10. So everyone gave the test yesterday. Okay, how was it? Easy, tough? A lot of students have secured in single digit, 6, 8, 6, 8, kind of. Some of you have scored very good also. So if you have scored somewhere around 18, 19, above 20, then it is a very good marks, because 10 questions were there that were extremely difficult. I haven't thought that most of you will answer that, but some of you have got a very good marks. Okay. Highest is I think 27. So good. And one thing that you might have noticed from yesterday's test is, though this subject is easy, but if you are not attending the classes and you will just read everything one day before the class, you will get confused in the questions, especially where I give you some statements and I ask you what is incorrect, what is correct. बहुत से ऐसे क्वेश्चंस थे ना जिसमें 3-4 स्टेटमेंट दिए हुए थे एंड यू आर आस्क्ड पिक द करेक्ट वंस, पिक द इनकरेक्ट वंस. मैक्सिमम लोगों के वही गलत है, बाकी इजी इजी सही है, इंक्लूड एक्सटेंड वाले. सो जस्ट डोंट रीड एवरीथिंग वन डे बिफोर द नाइट, वरना सेम मार्क्स आएंगे बाद में भी. Okay, so we were doing common mechanisms, etc., etc. So the package topic is remaining, so let's finish that. Okay, so we have seen that UML is a flexible and it provides you stereotypes, tagged values, and constraints. Okay, these are some additional features that can modify your model to add some extra meanings in your model, to add some extra semantic meanings in your model also. Okay, however you want to modify, you can use these things: stereotypes, tag values, and constraints. We have seen that your include is also a stereotype, your extend is also a stereotype. Okay, all these things written inside this are stereotypes only. Whatever relationship name you give, for example, student is a class and course is a class, and you write on the association line takes. So this takes is also a tagged values. Okay, so everything, these are the additional features that are provided by UML. Okay, for example, like this, you can add notes. Then these are some other adornments. Okay, for example, in the class, this is a class. Okay, you have 3 rows, but you can add a 4th row for writing responsibilities or for writing exceptions, or whatever you want to write. You want to explain something regarding this class, you can create another row that will be known as other adornments. Okay, extra row you are creating. For example, a node, this is a node. The typical structure of a node is like this only. Okay, the front screen is the node name, means if this was a client node, this wouldn't be there in normal cases. Only in the front you will write client, that's it. In the front you will write just client, that will be a node. Okay, but if you want to add some extra meaning, some extra things regarding this client, you can add one extra compartment and write something in that compartment, whatever you want. So adding that extra compartment in the class diagram, in the node diagram, these extra compartments and whatever you are writing there, that is adornments. Then there are stereotypes. Okay, everything that is written inside this limits are stereotypes. Everything written inside this are stereotypes. Include, extend, realize, relationship that we have seen, all these are stereotypes. Then you have constraints, okay, which restricts your system. For example, the multiplicities you use in a class diagram, those are constraints. Okay, these multiplicities are constraints. Some extra constraints you want to write. Suppose on this association line, I want to write some extra constraint. So I will add a note. And in this brackets, I will write whatever constraint I want to write. Suppose I'm making a function get budget in a class diagram, and I want to give some constraints regarding this get budget, that there should be some restrictions, there should be some conditions to fulfill this get budget. So in this brackets, I will write that the precondition is that the project budget should be less than or equal to department budget. So that is how you can give constraints. Then there are tag values. Okay, everything, the class name, the class attributes you are writing. Basically, you can say your identifiers. Okay, like in the programming, you give identifiers. That int identifiers kya hote hain? Int x equal to 10. So x is the identifier. Class hello. So hello is the identifier. Whatever names you give from your side to class, functions, data types, ये सारे identifiers होते हैं. Tokens पढ़े हैं ना? Keywords होते हैं, literals होते हैं, identifiers होते हैं ना, punctuators, operators. So identifier is a kind of token, and in every programming language, identifier is the name that you give. So tag value is kind of those only. Okay, the names, the extra, the values in sense of names only. Okay, for example, you have created a stereotype server. Okay, then you can give some tag values to it. Okay, you write something on association line. Student takes a course, so takes will become a tagged value. Okay, the notes we will see in the component diagrams. These are notes. So you have written something that this is a database node, this is the value, this is the value, this is the value. So these are tagged values. Fine. Then we have seen abstract classes in interface. Abstract classes. In her slide, I have asked you the question yesterday. Okay, for every slide there was the question yesterday. With regard to abstract class and interface also. Fine. What is abstract class? Even if your class has one method or one function that is declared only but not defined, that will be abstract class. And in the class in which you will define that function, for example, here is a class speaking, and we have declared a function speak, but we have not defined how this function will work. हमको रात में सपना आया था, we have written this, that there will be a speak function, but we don't know how it perform. This speaking class don't know how this speak class, how this speak function will perform. But suppose you have 3 child classes and you have defined how this speak function will work in all of these 3 child classes. So these classes will be known as concrete classes, where you define your function. Okay, this speaking class will be an abstract class. Interface, very thin line is there between abstract class and interface. In interface, all the classes, all the methods. Okay, for example, you have a speaking class, you have a method speak, and you have suppose another method talk. So if suppose you have declared the speak function is speaking class, but you have not defined it, means how it will work. For the talk class, you have declared the function in the speaking class also, and you have defined also that how this talk function will work in this speaking class. Then also this class, speaking class, will be an abstract class because you have at least one function that is not defined but declared only. Okay, मतलब एक क्लास में एक से ज्यादा फंक्शंस है आपके पास. For example, speak. You have another function talk. You have 2 functions in one class. You have declared both the functions like this, but you have defined only this talk function. You have not defined this speak function. Then also this speaking class will be abstract class because you have at least one function that is not defined. Okay, but in the interface, all the functions will be declared only. They will not be defined. आप कोई भी function को define नहीं करोगे. Okay, this is the structure for an interface. You will use stereotype interface. You will write the interface name, and if you want to write some functions, you will write it here. Okay, in the second row. Basically, it's the same class structure. In the class structure, first we have the class name, then we have the attributes, and then we have the methods. So for our interface, basically we don't need this middle column, attributes column. कि age क्या है, ID क्या है. We don't need these things, right? In the interface, we just need the functions directly. So we will use the first row and we will use the third row. That is why the structure is like this. एनी डाउट्स? ये तो पढ़ लिया वैसे, जस्ट क्विक रिवीजन आई एम गिविंग यू. डाउट है किसी को? Yeah. Suppose you want to use a class diagram as an interface. Okay, then also you can use the stereotype interface, because we have seen that stereotypes redefines the meaning of anything, right? If you write that this is not a class, this is a boat, then using stereotype, this will not be a class, this will become a boat. That is the power of stereotypes. Okay, so like this also you can create interface. Now between interface and interface, this is one interface, this is another interface. Between interface and interface, all the relationships are possible. You can have association, you can have inheritance, you can have aggregation, you can have composition. Whatever relationships we had with the class diagram, all the relationships are possible with the interface also. Fine. But if you have another classifier like a class that wants to interact with the interface, or you have a node. Classifier means everything that has some collection of similar items. Okay, for example, class is a group of objects. Okay, similarly there is node. Suppose this is a node and it want to interact with the interface. So if some other classifiers apart from an interface wants to interact with the interface, you will use this realization arrow. Okay, this means that giraffe will realize mammal. This means that it's the giraffe is in contract with this class mammal, that he will implement all these functions that are defined in mammal, because you have created one interface and you have declared these 4 functions, but these functions are not defined anywhere. Even if you do inheritance from this mammal interface and you create its child interface, then also you cannot declare these functions in the child interface and you will call them as concrete interface. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता, because in interface you cannot define any function, no matter you are doing inheritance or doing what. So you have to use some other classifier like a class, right, which will realize or which will interact like this with this mammal interface, and all the functions that you have declared inside this mammal interface will be defined in this class. It's the responsibility of giraffe class that he defines that how these 4 functions are going to work. Similarly, human class is also in contract with the mammal interface. You will say human class is in contract with the mammal interface. This is not mammal class. This, because of the stereotype, it has become a mammal interface. And it is the responsibility of human class that whatever functions are written inside here, whatever functions were declared in the interface, human class will define these interfaces. Be clear with the 2 words, okay? Declare and define. Declare means you have just declared a function like this. You have declared a function. Function declaration just hota hai programming mein. Function definition means you have explained how this function is going to work. How this function is going to work. Okay, you have explained the working of the function. That is definition. So interface, in interface, you will only declare the functions like this. This function definition will come inside the classes that are realizing this interface. Clear to everyone? So either you can create interface like this or you can create interface like this. Fine. So read and tell me, what does this mean between human and biped? How you will write it in English? Tell me. Human has a contract with biped. Okay, to do what? To define all the methods. What all the methods? Be specific. Walk on 2 legs, right? So you will read it like human realizes biped to define the function walk on 2 legs, or you will say that human class is in contract with this biped interface to implement or to define the function walk on 2 legs. Why I asked you to read this in English? Because if a question comes, generally interface diagrams don't come. Okay, if you are giving a theory paper, Generally interface diagrams don't come, but if it is there, okay, for example, a statement is given that there is a human class, this attribute, this functions, then you have an interface biped, these functions, okay, and then the statement is mentioned that human class is in contract with the biped class, or it's written like human class will implement the walk on two legs of the biped class. This simply means that you are going to use a realize between these two, and you will represent it like this. Then there are two other methods also to represent interface. Suppose you have made an interface like this, lot of functions are defined here, okay, and you don't want to clutter your diagram. So what you can do, you can just represent this biped class, which we have represented here like this. You can represent this biped class just with a circle, and this will mean that there is a biped class, there is a biped interface, sorry, and there are a lot of functions also declared inside this biped interface, and there is a human class. अब फायदा ये होगा, ऐसा करते क्यों, इसके दो रीजन. फर्स्ट, ट्रेडिशनल जो आपके, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट स्टार यूएमएल, जो ट्रेडिशनल यूएमएल डायग्राम के टूल्स थे उसमें रियलाइजेशन टूल नहीं था, and if you are using this interface structure to interact with this class, obviously you have to use this realization only. You cannot use any other relationship like association and all. But with modern UML diagrams, you have this representation also. उससे ये हो गया कि association से भी इसको represent कर सकते हैं, because this realization comes under the category of advanced relationships. ऐसा कुछ खास ये करता नहीं है simply, but इसको categorize करते हैं भी in the advanced relationship. So if you don't want to use this realize for any reason whatsoever, you can use this normal association also. But if you want to use this normal association between a class and the interface, you have to use this circular representation for the interface. Okay. Then there was, and how you will read it? You will not read it like human realizes biped, because this is not a realized relationship. How you will read it? Last class में बताया था. How you will read it? How you will read this? Human is associated with biped. Okay, it's simple. You can read it like this, or you will say that human class will implement the definitions of this biped class. You can use this word implement. Okay, simply saying human is associated with biped doesn't actually differentiates that whether human is a class, biped is an interface. So either you say like human class is in association with biped interface. So this statement will automatically mean that if you have used association, the interface structure is something like this, not like this. Or you can be more specific, like human class will implement the functions of the biped class. Similarly, the giraffe class will implement the quadruped interface. Then we have seen one last structure to represent interface that was like this. For example, suppose there is a human class and a C kind of a structure, bean kind of a structure. What does this mean? Suppose this is a human class and this is a, say, water interface. So how you will read this? Will you say that human class will implement the functions of water interface? Tell me. Will I human class needs? Yes. Good, Madhur. You will say that human class needs some of the functions of this water interface. Now human class will not going to define anything of this water interface. He needs something from the water interface, but obviously water is an interface. So even if something human class needs, you can't give it directly because that's not defined anywhere. For example, in the water class, there is a function H2O, and human class needs this function H2O, but it cannot directly take it because this H2O function is only declared inside this interface. It is not defined anywhere. So first you need to define this H2O or water function. And where can you define? Obviously you have to define it in another class. You have to make another and then define this H2O or water function. Then only this human class can use it. So you will create one other interface, say water new. You will associate the water and the water new interfaces with a normal association link. इससे क्या होगा, जितने भी यहाँ functions थे, whatever function were present in original C-shaped water will be transferred to this circular water. Now I can use this structure. If I can create another class here, say x dash, then this means that whatever functions have been declared inside this water new interface will now be defined here. Now you will define H2O water function here. Now this human class can use it. So this will be the whole structure for that. ऐसा कोई डायग्राम बनाने को नहीं आएगा, बस पता होना चाहिए. Clear? Any doubts किसी को? Fine. Yes. Vishwas, Vaishnav, you are present? You are present or not? Call me after the class, Vishwas. Okay. Got it? Which example, Tanu? This one or the C-shaped which we have drawn? This one? इसमें कुछ नहीं है. This means that human class realizes this mammal interface. Means whatever functions you have declared inside this mammal interface will find in this human class. Similarly, giraffe class realizes this mammal interface. Means whatever functions are declared inside this mammal class will be defined in this giraffe class. ये हुआ एक चीज. Second thing is this one. That human class, now this is normal association. This is not realized relationship. So human class realizes this biped interface. This circular representation is another form to represent an interface. Okay, यहाँ पे word use करते हैं हम लोग realizes, and यहाँ पे word हम लोग use करेंगे implement, और यहाँ पे हम लोग word use करेंगे needs. Okay, so giraffe realizes mammal. Human class will implement biped. Suppose यहाँ पे human class है, so human class needs whatever interface is this. Okay, so this means that human class will implement whatever functions you have declared inside this biped interface. Similar to like this also. Similar to like this only. Only thing is that you have changed the representation for an interface. Now you are representing an interface with a circle and you are using a simple association between them. Rest of the things remain same. Between how it was between them, it will remain same between them also. It's the responsibility of human class again to implement all the functions of this biped class, to define all the functions of biped class. जो भी biped, अगर biped class में एक function लिखा है prime minister, biped class ने बोला है, so this function will be only declared in the biped class, but the definition of this prime minister class, okay, the definition of this prime minister class will be in the human class. Got it? और कोई डाउट? ठीक है. One more advanced relationship is there. I haven't told you this explicitly, but you already know that is a dependency. This means that suppose there is a class A and there is a class B, dotted line with an arrow. This means the dependency. This means that class A depends on class B. Why I am saying that you know this already? Have you seen this anywhere else? This dotted arrow with this dotted line with the arrow. कहाँ देखा है? wherever you were making a include, या इन द यूज केसेस जब भी हम लोग इंक्लूड बनाते थे, इंक्लूड तो एक स्टीरियोटाइप है, बट ये बना किसके ऊपर रहे हो, यू आर मेकिंग दिस ऑन अ डिपेंडेंसी लाइन. सो इंक्लूड, एक्सटेंड, दीज आर स्टीरियोटाइप्स. मींस नॉर्मली जो ओरिजिनल relationship that is of a dependency relationship, this dotted line with the arrow, and when you write the stereotype over it, say extend, now this no longer remains a dependency relationship, this becomes a extend relationship because you have used a stereotype extend. Okay, but इसका जो original जो raw material है वो है dependency relationship. It means class A depends on class B. For example, there is a class fish and there is a class water, so you will show the dependency like this, that fish class depends on class. And if you use some stereotype here, for example include, exclude, अच्छा ये तो class diagram है तो इसमें include exclude नहीं होगा, okay, but in normal use, suppose fish was a use case, water was a use case, and then you write extend here, so that will become an extend relationship, but generally this is a dependency relationship. Okay, means fish uses this class water. इसका मतलब ये है, if fish is dependent on water and if something happens to this water, the result will be seen on this fish class also, isn't it? If class A depends on class B and something happens to class B, then the result will be seen on class A also. अगर fish depend कर रही है water में, water सूख गया, water just vanished, so you will see some effect on fish class also. You cannot say this fish class will be destructed completely like in a composition relationship, but you will see some effects there. Because obviously if fish is depending on water, if one class is depending on another, it means that class is using the function of the other class. Fine. Good out. Clear? Dependency कुछ नहीं. One class depends on another class. Okay. A class depends on, this is dotted line. A class depends on B class. Means A needs this B class. इसमें B में कोई होगा. For example, there is a function XYZ. If A depends on B class, it means suppose A needs this function. A को अपने किसी function के अंदर इस function XYZ को use करना है. कोई variable है B में. There is a variable int X. A को ये variable use करना है. A needs something from B. So that is why A depends on B. And if something happens to this B class or there is some change in the B class, the change will be reflected in the A class also. For example, अगर ये X B class से delete हो गया और obviously A जो है वो X use कर रहा था, तो A पे भी effect पड़ेगा. सिंपल सी बात है. Any doubts? ठीक है, clear है? Fine. Any doubts, anyone? Okay. So now the last topic of your module 2 is packages. Okay. So what is a package in a programming language? It is a collection of similar things. Okay. For example, you want to put a lot of classes, not similar things. You will say a collection of things only. Okay. For example, you can take a lot of classes and you can put it inside one package. बनाते हैं ना packages, Java वगैरह में बनाते हैं. First package बनाते हैं, फिर class बनाते हैं. So that is the same thing with packages. Okay, a package is nothing but a collection of things. When I'm saying collection of things, can I say that you can create a package of classes also and you can create a package of use cases also in the use case diagram? Can I say that? क्योंकि पैकेज क्या है, बहुत सारी चीजों को उठा के एक साथ रख दिया बस एक जगह. That is package only. So can I say that package will contain a lot of classes also? You can create packages for use case diagram also. A lot of use cases you can also put it inside the package. Can I say that? Okay, we will see the example of this. So how a package is represented in UML? This is the symbol of a package, like a folder symbol. Okay, just like in a folder you contain a lot of things, this is the symbol of a package and this is the package name, utilities. So suppose you have three classes, maths, file handling and graphics, and you want to put all of these three classes inside this package utilities. So first way to do that is to use this containment operator. Okay, this symbol is known as containment operator. And if we are representing it like this means that math, file handling, and graphics is inside this package. But this representation we don't use because this is not clean. We use this representation that directly put whatever classes you have, math, file handling, graphics, inside your utility package, because this clearly shows that you have three classes that are inside package utilities. Okay. Now let's talk about visibilities. Just like class diagrams has visibilities, class के पास क्या visibilities है? Public, private, protected. Static वगैरह भी होती है, but generally we use these three only: public, private, protected. What are the visibilities with a package? When you create a package, what are the visibilities with a package in programming? दो पैकेज के बीच में क्या, एक पैकेज के अंदर क्या विजिबिलिटीज हो सकती है, या दो पैकेज के बीच में क्या विजिबिलिटीज हो सकती हैं? बताओ, ये तो नॉर्मल है. प्रोटेक्टेड कहां से आ गई? प्रोटेक्टेड के लिए तो यू नीड इनहेरिटेंस कॉन्सेप्ट आल्सो ना, कि क्लास का चाइल्ड कैन आल्सो. प्रोटेक्टेड कहां यूज करते हैं? जहां पे इनहेरिटेंस का कंसेप्ट आता है, क्षितिज, है ना. पैकेजेस में इनहेरिटेंस का कंसेप्ट नहीं है कोई. सो पैकेज कैन ओनली हैव आइदर पब्लिक और प्राइवेट. फॉर एग्जांपल, यू हैव 4 classes inside the package. Okay, so you will use either public or you can use private also. For example, if suppose inside a package I have used public with this math class, so this means whatever is written inside this math class can be used by all the 3 other classes. Okay, similarly I have made this graphics as public. This means whatever attributes, whatever functions are declared inside this graphics class can be used in other 3 classes also. Okay, but this cruncher class is having a private, means these 3 classes cannot use this cruncher class. Okay, it is a private. Iske jo bhi members and functions are there, they will remain in private. No other class can use this cruncher class. Fine. This was visibility. Now the next topic is relationships between packages. Okay, packages separate topic, like you have read class. Okay, not too big topic, just a small one, but it is a separate topic in itself. Okay, a package diagram. This is a static diagram, or sorry, this is a structural diagram, or this is a behavioral diagram? Package diagram. स्ट्रक्चरल और बिहेवियरल? इट्स स्ट्रक्चरल. हाँ, बिहेवियरल कैसे हो गया तुम लोग? पैकेज के अंदर बना के रही हो, यू आर मेकिंग क्लासेस ओनली, राइट? क्लासेस आर स्ट्रक्चरल ओनली, सो पैकेजेस विल आल्सो बी स्ट्रक्चरल. तो फिक्स है ना, देयर इज नो मूवमेंट that some user is coming, is trying to interact with this, and based on some conditions they are doing something. You are not doing any of them. This is a static thing. You have made a package that is final, it's fixed there. From the next class we will start with activity diagram, that is your third module. From there onwards we will move in behavioral diagrams. Okay, then you will get a clear idea that why these are structural diagrams and what is actually happening in activity diagram and all those things. Okay, so now let's talk about the relationships in a package. Next class के आज ही I will show you a little bit. Package की थोड़ी सी slides और है. So now let's talk about relationships. How many kind of relationships are there in a package? So you have 3 relationships: dependency, generalization, refinement. This is dependency. Obviously, when you will hear the term dependency, this arrow should come into your mind. This is the only arrow or representation for dependency. So what does this mean? That fish package depends on water package. Fish package uses water package. If anything happens to this water package, the result will be reflected in the fish package. The concept is same for the relationships. If you are having an association relationship, either in use case diagram or in class diagram or in package diagram, the meaning remains the same. If you have a dependency, either in use case, either in class diagram, either in package diagram, the meaning remains the same. Meaning change नहीं हो जाएगी diagram से relationships की, right? So if this is a fish, this is the water, and the relationship between them is dependency. So this means the same thing again, that fish depends on water. So this was dependency. The next is generalization. What is generalization? What is generalization? पढ़ते हुए तो आ रहे हैं starting inheritance, simply inheritance, right? So if this is the generalization representation, means fish is a kind of animal. Okay, generalization we have seen in use case diagram. Generally we use this generalization to give types. For example, you are making a payment, so either you are going to use salary account or you are going to use savings account, current account, whatever. So to give type, basically to define types of one thing, we use generalization. It's simply inheritance. So fish is a kind of or is a type of animal, or fish is a subclass of animal class. This is how you will read generalization. Now the next new thing that comes here is refinement. Realization, where we use realization relationship. Can I use realization between two classes? This is realization. है ना, अभी पढ़ के आए पीछे. Where we use this realization? When you want to interface with some other classifier, like you want to interface with a class, you want to interface with a database, you want to interface with a node, है ना. इंटरफेस को अगर किसी चीज से कनेक्ट करना है, क्योंकि रियलाइजेशन का मतलब होता है इंटरफेस में व्हाटएवर फंक्शंस आर डिक्लेयर्ड, यू हैव टू डिफाइन दोस फंक्शन इन समथिंग, इसलिए रियलाइजेशन यूज करते हैं. ओके, दिस इज रिफाइनमेंट इन द पैकेज डायग्राम. नाउ वी हैव अ न्यू रिलेशनशिप, दैट इज refinement. So what is refinement? Basically you have two classes, class A, class B. Okay, you will have the same attributes, same functions in both the classes. Class name अलग होगा, लेकिन जो अंदर के attributes, for example this is a student class and this is a child class. So whatever attributes or methods you have declared inside the student class, the same attributes and methods will be in the child class also. But if I make a refined relationship, refine कैसे बनाएंगे? Again you will use a dependency arrow और stereotype use कर दोगे refine. So the dependency relationship will become a refined relationship. Stereotype यही तो power है. You are using a normal dependency relationship, but you are writing the stereotype as refined. So this relationship will become now a refined relationship. So in simple words, refined means that you have two packages or two things basically. Both the things will have similar functions, similar methods, सब कुछ same होगा दोनों में, but one will be a refined version of the another. पहले से improved version होगा. For example, take this example. You have a rehearsal package. Okay, you are preparing for a play, school play, and you are doing rehearsals. So rehearsals में you will have actors. Okay, you will have dancers, you will have props. All these things will be there in rehearsal. Now finally you are going to perform. So in the performance also you will have the same actors, you will have the same dancers, you will have the same props, but now you would have refined yourself. Now this अब इसमें जो actors आएंगे ये पहले से better आएंगे जो rehearsal के time थे, isn't it? So this is what is meant by refinement. Okay, that this performance class, yeah, क्षितिज, पेरेंट और चाइल्ड नहीं बोलेंगे बेसिकली क्योंकि इनहेरिटेंस नहीं हो रहा है ना. सो दे आर नॉट पेरेंट एंड चाइल्ड बेसिकली. ओके, बट वन पैकेज बेसिकली क्लास के बीच में भी नेवर यूज डिफाइन. दिस ओनली विद द पैकेज. ये रिलेशनशिप सिर्फ पैकेज के साथ यूज कर सकते हैं. वन थिंग यू हैव टू नोट देयर आल्सो. फाइन. So in the rehearsals you were having some actors, some dancers, they were preparing, they were rehearsing, and finally when they performed they were a better version of themselves. They have improved. That is what is known by refinement. How you will make it? Performance refines rehearsal. Why the arrow is in this direction only? Why it is not in this direction? Because think logically, your final performance will depend on how you have performed the rehearsal. The actors, how much the actors have improved in the finals performance, how much they are performing good now will depend on, that is why dependency is in this direction, will depend on how they have performed in the rehearsal. Okay, so this was a refinement. कोई दिक्कत किसी को? Okay, so if I'm saying that class A refines normal dependency relationship but with a refined stereotype, so that will become a refined relationship. So if I say class A, package A refines package B, so this means that simply A is a better version of B. Whatever functions, whatever things, whatever methods, whatever was present inside B, A also contains the same thing but in a better way, a refined version. Clear? Everyone clear? Okay. Now just focus here once. Wait a second. Yeah. So now you have accessing and importing packages. So what does this mean? Suppose you have one package event planning and you have another package venue. And inside this venue package, you have a class conference center. Now there are two relationships. One is access, other is import. Again, this is between packages only. ये और किसी class या use case diagram के साथ नहीं है, इस packages के बीच में. So how can I make? Again, the same dependency line will be there, but if you use the stereotype import, it will become the import package. If you use the stereotype access, it will become the access relationship. So मतलब क्या, देखो बहुत simple सा meaning है. If suppose you have this event planning, and this event planning package needs this class from another package. This event planning package needs this class conference center from another package venue. किसी दूसरे पैकेज से कुछ क्लास को इसे चाहिए, तो लेने के दो तरीके हैं. वन इज एक्सेसिंग, अदर वन इज इंपोर्टिंग. इंपोर्ट का मीनिंग है, इफ सपोज दिस इवेंट क्लास इंपोर्ट्स दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस सेंटर फ्रॉम अनदर पैकेज वेन्यू, सो क्या होगा, कॉन्फ्रेंस सेंटर यहां आ जाएगा. दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस सेंटर विल कम हियर, इजंट इट? इंपोर्टिंग, डायरेक्टली इंपोर्ट कर लिया सबका सब. सो दिस कॉन्फ्रेंस विल कम हियर, इज इट राइट और नहीं? Yes or no? Fine. So if event planning is importing this conference class from another package venue, this means that this conference class will come inside this event planning with a public visibility. नहीं, कॉपी ही आएगा, कॉपी ही आएगा. वहां तो वो रहेगा ही, वहां से नहीं गायब हो जाएगा, कॉपी ही आएगी. Okay, but with a public visibility. What does public visibility means? Means if there is some another package now that is interacting with this event package, सिर्फ interact कर रहा है किसी तरह, okay, then this third package, suppose package C, he will know everything about this conference because that is with public visibility inside this event planner. That is import. But suppose you want that no, this event planning package should use this conference center. It should have this conference center inside this, but no other third party package should be able to access this. Means I want to keep the visibility of this conference as private inside this event planning. So I will not use import, I will use access. This is the only difference between import and access. Import means if you have imported some other class from a package, that class will be with public visibility. And anyone who can interact with this event planning class can also see what are the details inside this conference class. But if you are using access, you will only give the access to this event planning class with a private visibility. Means event planning class, only event planning class can access this. The other packages that are interacting with this event planning class cannot access this conference centers. So that is the only basic difference between import and access. Okay, import gives the access as public and access gives the access as private. If you use import, then whoever is interacting with this event planning class, those packages can all event planning packages, sorry, whoever is interacting with this event planning packages, that package can also use this class conference center. But if you are using access, you only event planning package can use that. No other third party package that is interacting with event planning can use this. That's the only difference. किसी को डाउट है? Clear? Like this, you can use access. Okay, so if you are using import, then everyone, if event planning is importing conference center, this means that every other package who can access this event planning can access this conference center also. But if you are using access instead of import, this means only event planning package can access this conference center. No third party package who can access this event planning can access this, because this will be in private inside this event planning. Now let's talk about merging packages. What does merging packages mean? Sorry. What does this merging packages mean? Suppose you have a class here, family. Okay. Here you have family ID and you have family name as attributes. This is your source package, package A. Then you have your target package. Inside that target package also you have same class, family. But now the attributes are different. Now the attributes are family age. So is it making any sense to put them into different packages, or can I just merge them and merge all these attributes, function ID, function name, function family age, they should come together inside one family class? Doesn't that make more sense instead of keeping them in two separate packages? Can we do that? We can do that. Okay, there is no harm. There is some benefits also, but there is some conditions also. When can you do that? Okay, you have to be very sure of the visibility. For example, if in this the visibility is private and in this package the visibility is public, then definitely you cannot merge, because this family is having a private visibility. So you have to take care of the visibilities basically. So that is the only meaning of merging. If I draw the, again, how you will merge something, you will use the same dependency relationship and you will use a stereotype merge. So ये बन जाएगा merge. Okay, the same dependency relationship but with a merge stereotype. So it became merge. Okay, इसको टेक्निकली बोलते हैं that this is your source package जिसमें आने वाली है चीजें. This is your target package जिससे आने वाली हैं चीजें. Just think about this. When I say function definition, this means whatever attributes, whatever methods are present inside the function. For example, you have a function student. So student name, student ID, okay, student is eating. All those things are function definitions. So if I'm saying this is the package, this is the source package in which the things are going to come, इसमें चीजें आने वाली हैं. So इसकी प्रॉपर्टी बढ़ेगी या इसकी प्रॉपर्टी बढ़ेगी, कौन सा साइज में इंक्रीज हो जाएगा? Source will be expanded. Okay, because from target to source the extra information is coming. Okay, so you will say technically that the source package will expand. ये लिख लो जो मैं बोल रहा हूं, this is not written in this PPT. So the source package will expand its definition for similar elements. Source package will expand its definition for similar elements. Okay, similar elements क्यों? यहाँ पे एक फैमिली था सोर्स में, यहाँ पे भी एक फैमिली था in the target. Okay, in the target you are having family age as one function. Now if you are merging this source to this target, this means that this family age definition is going to come inside this source. This means this source is going to expand its definition of this function class for similar elements. Okay, this is how you will write technically. Why I have said this? Because I will give you a statement that while merging packages, the target package can expand its definition to merge, and you will not be able to answer if you haven't written this statement what I have told you just now. For example, take this. इतना diagram देखो पहले. Okay, this is my one package teaching staff. This is my other package faculty location. In my teaching staff, I have one class faculty, one class job, and they are interacting with each other. For example, one or more faculty is employed in one job. Okay, or one job is having one or more faculty. This is how it is interacting. In my faculty location package, again I have two classes. One is faculty class, again one is campus class. Okay, one or more faculty works at one campus, or one campus has one or more than one faculty. This is how class diagrams are interacting. Now these two are put in two different packages. This is my source package, this is my target package. If I merge them, why I should merge them? Because you have one class faculty here and again one class faculty here. दोनों common है, right? So two separate classes में बनाने से is better that you merge them. So when you will merge them, देखो अब यहाँ पे you have name and ID and you have get salary. Extra information क्या है दूसरे target में? ID is the extra information and assigned to is a extra function. So when you are merging the source with the target, whatever informations are present inside the target will come in the source. Whatever informations are present inside this target, for example, this ID and two assigned function, they will come in original source package. And what is expanded? The definition of this source package is expanded, not the definition of target package. But if you are taking this faculty out, सिर्फ faculty को भेज दोगे और इसको नहीं भेजोगे तो डायग्राम गलत हो जाएगा. So when you are merging, you have to be careful about the relationships also. For example, ये relationship भी पूरा का पूरा चला गया, इसको जाना ही पड़ा. And finally the diagram will look something like this. You will have the faculty package. अब इसमें जो पहले से name and ID was there, they will remain here. Name and ID. The extra information was this. Okay, इसमें ID पहले से था. Okay, ID इधर भी था. The extra information was only this, assigned to. The extra information was this, assigned to. So this assigned to also came here with get salary. So basically merge operation perform हो रहा है. Faculty merged. Original relationship तो ये था. So this will remain here. But this relationship will also come. अब इसको छोड़ नहीं सकते ना, या छोड़ दोगे तो फायदा क्या होगा, गलत हो जाएगा डायग्राम. Fine. So you have to be careful about the relationships. You have to take the relationships also with them. Okay, so final package diagram after merging will look something like this. Clear? Now there are few pointers to note. For example, firstly, if you have private elements, means if this faculty class would have been private inside this teaching staff, तब merge कर सकते थे. Then we wouldn't have merged. यहाँ पे negative होता, मतलब private होता, तब ये merge नहीं कर सकते थे. वो separate ही we have to put it. So you have to be careful about merging. Okay. Multiple inheritance is also possible. Multiple inheritance means, suppose this is family class here, this is tree class here. Okay. And if suppose they are giving some other parent class, some other child class, ऐसा कुछ inheritance हो रहा है, कोई भी inheritance हो रहा है. And if you are moving this family class only, then everything will be moved and same relationship can be performed in the merged class also. Okay, sub packages like this sub package. Okay, or अच्छा, पैकेज के अंदर आई डिडंट टोल्ड यू वन थिंग, बट यू कैन नेस्टेड पैकेजेस आल्सो। मतलब एक पैकेज बनाओ, उस पैकेज के अंदर भी एक पैकेज बना सकते हो, और उस पैकेज के अंदर क्लासेस बना सकते हो। सो नेस्टेड पैकेजेस आर आल्सो पॉसिबल। कुछ करना नहीं होता, एक पैकेज क्लिक करो, एक पैकेज बन जाएगा, दूसरा पैकेज क्लिक करो, उसके ऊपर रख दो, दूसरा बन जाएगा, फिर क्लासेस बना दो। सो नेस्टेड पैकेजेस आर आल्सो पॉसिबल। So everything nested sub packages will also move. For example, इस पूरे बड़े वाले पैकेज में there is a class and you are moving it, and that class is using this package. So ये भी पूरा का पूरा चला जाएगा। Means relationship distort नहीं होंगे, relationship should be remain the same. Okay. Now in starting only I have told you that package diagram is not just with respect to classes. Even if you have some use case like this, you can put all these use cases inside a package, and you can name the package as transactions. So this transactions package will contain all these 4 use cases. इससे फायदा क्या हुआ कि 4 एसोसिएशन नहीं बनाने पड़े 4 use cases के लिए। Only with one association with the package, you have shown in the use case diagram that a customer is interacting। और इससे क्या हुआ, सिर्फ एक डायग्राम से आपको पता चल जा रहा है that there is a customer who is interacting with both withdraw cash, deposit fund, check balance, transfer fund। ये सबसे एसोसिएट कर रहा है, सिर्फ एक एसोसिएशन लाइन से पता चल गया। और बल्कि ये भी लिखने की अंदर जरूरत नहीं है, you can simply create this। This means that whatever use cases are present inside the transactions, because what is a use case diagram? You have to be very simple. And if this diagram is saying you that there is a transaction package जिसमें बहुत सारे use cases होंगे related to transactions, and user is or customer is associating with every one of them, so it's giving you a clean look। अब यहाँ clean पता नहीं चलेगा, clean पता चलेगा इस diagram में। This is a use case diagram, very complicated use case diagram। एग्जाम में बनाओगे तो 0 दूंगा। This is not a neat diagram। Okay, so what we can do, students related जितने use cases हैं उसको एक पैकेज में रख दो। ओके, फैकल्टी से रिलेटेड जितने यूज केसेस है उसको एक पैकेज में रख दो, रजिस्ट्रार से रिलेटेड जितने यूज केसेस है उसको एक पैकेज में रख दो, एंड यू क्रिएट समथिंग लाइक दिस। दिस इज फॉर द स्टूडेंट, दिस इज फॉर द फैकल्टी, दिस इज फॉर द रजिस्ट्रार। ये भी बल्कि बनाने की जरूरत नहीं थी, ये और सिंप्लीफाई कर दिया। ओके, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू सी हियर वेयर इट इज गॉन, yeah, browse courses, student is browsing a course, right? So this browse course is basically what this example is showing, that you have a search package or search use case, and everyone, a student can also search something, a faculty can also search something, a registrar can also something। so इसको और generalize कर दिया है। but अगर ये नहीं भी बनाओ, so this same diagram, ये जो पूरा complicated diagram दिख रहा है, this diagram can be represented only with this structure, that there is a student who is having a student activities package, और इसमें बहुत सारे यूज केसेस है, जो भी है सबसे स्टूडेंट काम कर रहा है, जो भी है इसमें फैकल्टी इज इंटरेक्टिंग, जो भी है इसमें रजिस्ट्रार इज इंटरेक्टिंग। बट अगर कीप वन थिंग आल्सो इन माइंड, इन द एग्जाम इफ यू आर आस्क्ड द यूज केस डायग्राम, only use case diagram is mentioned, you have to draw obviously not this complicated diagram but a normal use case diagram है ना। ये बना के मत आ जाना जब तक पूछा नहीं है पैकेज के बारे में कि ड्रॉ यूज केस पैकेज डायग्राम। जब तक यूज केस पैकेज डायग्राम टर्म यूज नहीं हुआ, यू हैव टू मेक नॉर्मल यूज केसेस ओनली। दिस इज आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड यू बिकॉज दिस इज अनदर वे टू रिप्रेजेंट। बट इफ द क्वेश्चन इज रिगार्डिंग यूज केस डायग्राम ओनली, whatever we have read in the starting, that is a use case diagram। this is a use case package diagram, a more abstract view, a more cleaner view for complex use cases। got it? So the last thing comes when to use अच्छा, just tell me when will you use this package diagram? इतनी जो कहानी पढ़ी है अभी तक, यूज कहां करोगे? where you will use this package diagram? जरूरत कब है? कब है जरूरत पैकेज डायग्राम की? टू रिड्यूस नॉट ओनली यूज केस डायग्राम, फॉर क्लास डायग्राम्स आल्सो। क्लास डायग्राम्स अभी तो आप लोग बहुत छोटे छोटे बनाए, बेसिकली क्लास डायग्राम्स टू कॉम्प्लिकेटेड। 1000 क्लासेस आर देयर इन योर क्लास डायग्राम, तो कुछ समझ ही नहीं आएगा कौन सी क्लास क्या है, किससे इंटरेक्ट कर रही है। सो जो क्लासेस सेपरेट कर सकते हो उसको एक सेपरेट पैकेज में डाल दो, जो क्लासेस सेपरेट कर सकते हो उसको सेपरेट पैकेज में डाल दो, एंड पैकेज टू पैकेज इंटरेक्शन दिखा दो. So to reduce the complexity of your system, basically you are going to use package diagram, right? For example, here the system was too complex. This use case diagram was too complex. So we have reduced the complexity using this package diagram. So these are the pointers with regard to package diagram. Okay, for a large and complex projects, you can use it. Okay, when you want to show a high level view, इसमें और high level कर दिया ना use case diagram thing, हमने और generalize कर दिया कि there is a transaction package and the customer actor is transacting with this. हमने इसमें ये नहीं बताया कि what are the use cases present inside, इसको भी गैप कर दिया. तो जितना ज्यादा एब्स्ट्रैक्शन का लेवल आप बढ़ाते जाओगे, मतलब जितनी ज्यादा चीजें आप छिपाते जाओगे, you will say you are at a high level of abstraction. टेक्निकल टर्म्स में इसको बोलेंगे you are at a high level of abstraction. जितनी ज्यादा चीजें छुपाते जाओगे, चीजें सिंपल करते जाओगे, उतना ज्यादा एब्स्ट्रैक्शन यू आर अचीविंग. ओके, बहुत ज्यादा क्लासेस, देयर आर थाउजेंड ऑफ क्लासेस, तो किसमें कंपोजिशन लग रहा है, किसमें एग्रीगेशन लग रहा है, दे आर टू कॉम्प्लेक्स, सो यू कैन यूज टू शो देम डिपेंडेंसी टू डिवाइड द कॉम्प्लेक्स सिस्टम. बाकी जो समझे वही फाइन. सो दिस फिनिशेस अवर मॉड्यूल 2, दैट वाज पैकेज diagrams. From next class onwards we will start with your module 3, that is activity diagrams. So tomorrow you have labs B1. So let's see, either I will give you one class diagram to do there, or we will start with activity diagram. We'll see what to do. Okay, so any doubts? Chalo, thank you.